Welcome, welcome. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the New York session. This is the 16th of July, and once again, we are here live. What we're going to do is we basically try to see if we're going to continue out of this range or not, because right now we're stuck in a range on the pair I basically trade most of the time. Um, let's take a look at this one thing here. So, okay, checking the systems. Systems are all good. Systems are good to go. Let's see here. Let's take a look at any potential news events. There are probably no news events so far right now. We have clean skies and sunny days. We don't have, I mean, we have the euro interest rates later on. This is going to be pretty interesting for the euro. We're going to see what happens in like an hour, almost an hour. You got CAD ADP, you got USD retail sales too. So we got a lot of things happening here now. They're expecting the retail sales, they're expecting like lower numbers. I think it's going to be higher than that because the economy is opening in the US now slowly, and that encourages people to maybe spend more money and increase in retail sales. I know for a fact that here in Canada, the malls are reopening now too, so I think that's gonna I think these numbers are gonna be bigger, so we're gonna wait and see what happens here. Let's look at GPJPY. GPJPY, it did come down to the daily support it made day before yesterday, and this is around 134. Almost came down to that area, kind of like jumped up. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. 4 hour seems like it's doing like a retracement. It basically made a low closer to 134. Now it's kind of like doing like a retracement to probably continue down. So let's take a look on the 1 hour time frame now. The 1 hour is basically ranging, right? We have a resistance right over here, and we have a support right down over here. Um, let's just make this zone a little bit thinner so that it looks like we have some space here, right? There we go. Perfect. Kind of like ranging right now. And we got another resistance right over here, which is at 134.550. And that range is basically, this is a 21 pip range, right? So whenever you see price is, wherever you see price, basically what you got to do is you have to see that, okay, where's the next zone where price can go, right? Where's the next support? Where's the next resistance where price can move on to? So if you look at pre-market data right now, let's take a look at pre-market data. I'd like to see where US 30 is moving. Okay, so it's down. It's like 150 points down. Basically, this means that maybe US 30 is going to maybe continue down before the market opens. So we're going to take a look at that. The previous 4 hour candle was bearish. There's a zone at like 26,570. We tapped into 27,200 there before. Um, you know what? It kind of looks like it's doing the same thing as GJ is doing. Like the market structure on the 4 hour is kind of like the same as GPJPY on the 4 hour. So yeah, it's just kind of like trying to move up. So we're gonna wait and see what happens. Hello, hello, everybody. Yeah, just kind of like waiting here. I mean, if we do break above, see, this is a problem. It'll need to break and close above. That's the whole thing. Could the entry, if the wick is broken, be sensible, or is it? Yeah, I mean, this is a little concerning part, right? This is the same thing that happened yesterday. Yesterday, remember, price was up over here, and it was like breaking the highs, but it didn't really close above. It closed below. So I think the same thing's happening right over here. We'll have to see a solid close above, and not breaking the highs, because yesterday a lot of people got stuck in this trade right over here too, man. Some people got entries right at the top right over here, so probably gonna be cautious about that over here now. Just got to be a little safe. Hey, good morning, Saul. We got Saul Lozano in the house now. Perfect. I think things are gonna go good now. Just trying to see if I can. I was trying to see if I can bring up a video over here, but I can't, so that's fine. That's fine. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is what's this? Your JPY at 30 minute. Stop loss below previous candle, TP1 at resistance. So TP1 at resistance, you got to measure how big this range is, right? So if you measure this range, this is going to be almost okay. I guess you can get. The only problem is that it's in a very, very tight range, your JPY, right? I mean, if you can force a trade within that range, I mean, that's okay, but I would say it's really, really tight range because, we got euro rates coming on in like an hour. So who knows where price is gonna go, you know? So we'll have to wait and see. But what we have seen is that basically something what happens is that whenever the rates are announced, now they've been keeping the rates at zero for a very, very long time, right? And whenever the rates are announced, the euro pairs they spike up a little bit, right? They spike up because the rates come at zero, so that's expected as good news, right? So they spike up a little bit, and then later on when you have the press conference, this is when the monetary policy is released, and then you got the press conference at 8:30. That's when you see the real move. That's when they say that okay, it's good or it's bad, or like based on the Brexit rumors or the economy's opening, like how will the same rates will affect things, or like what their monetary policy is, like how are they going to plan moving forward. That will really move price afterwards. So I think instead of taking a trade in this range, which is like a 20 pip range, I would say wait for price to break above to continue up, or like wait for price to break below to possibly continue down. So I think waiting for the interest rates here would be, I think it would be much better. Let's take a look at this chart. GJ 2 hour, waiting for 2 hour candle to close above here to make buys. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Same thing here. Like we want price to break above, break and close above 134, 340, I would say. 134, 340. And then, I think we should be good. Just have to just just have to wait a little bit longer. Can you give your thoughts on my chart? All right, let's take a look here. GJ, if 30 man can close above 134, 360, potential buy up to over there. Yep, makes sense. Makes sense. Same thing. Just gotta break above to go up, or break below to go below. Yeah, we got some interesting things happening here today. Let's take a look at this chart. This chart buys above. Yeah, looks good. I think most of these zones are great now, because it's not that hard. Whenever you look at the chart and you're easily able to identify a top zone and a bottom zone, that means the market structure is really, really nice, because look, if you break above here, we know we're going to come up over here, right? So it's just a fact to see if it really breaks and closes above 134, 340. Ooh, someone's buy stops got activated. Yeah, I think you need to wait. You need to wait. See, I kind of want to. Yeah, I don't know what this chart means. You have a TP all the way up there. Well, I guess with the positive euro, possibly you might get there, but yeah, there's a lot of problems in between right over here to go up, so let's see what happens. I mean, I could have used a buy stop on GJ, but I did that yesterday, right? And then I got caught in it. So probably going to learn from that and not use the buy stop. The thing is, like, sometimes, this candle will just continue bullish without a retest, and it's going to continue moving forward. At this stage, if it does continue moving forward, I'm willing to miss the trade. That's the most important thing. Why is everyone waiting to take a buy when price is definitely bearish? GJ is bearish long term. Daily candle is bearish. 4-hour candle is bearish. Yes, that's true. I think people are looking for buys if price closes above 134, 340, 350 on a smaller time frame to potentially ride it up till like 134 or 550. So that's going to be a small counter trend move in the overall higher time frame trend. If USD news is better than expected, then gold should fall. Yes, gold should fall then. That's true. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is kind of like gold is tapping into its own supports over here. And gold is kind of like ranging. Gold is ranging. Let's take a look at this chart. Your JPY buys above the resistance range, price breaks below support, sells to the next support. Yeah, makes sense. Just gotta wait for the news over here. Ooh, we got Pippy Rick in here, long time listener. Um, Perfect. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is 30 minute. Okay, you got some visualization happening over here. Makes sense, makes sense, makes sense. Yeah, I think it's there's this resistance area here which was created after Asian Open. Before pre-London, we had the resistance formed and price came down and then it just started ranging. So so just look at this, right? Um, After Asian close, no, after the closer to, pre-London, price started to range, right? So we've been ranging for about 7 hours, 30 minutes. Now, it ranged through pre-London, which is a high volume time, It ranged through the London Open, which is also a high volume time. And then now it's ranging during pre-New York, If it ranges during pre-New York, we know that okay, if it's going to range here, I think the next move is going to be in like New York Open or NYC Open. So probably just gotta wait. A buy after a solid close would be a counter trend trade, or oh yeah, it's going to be a counter trend trade because overall the trend is down. So when you're taking a trade based off like a buy to go up, then that's a counter trend trade. Euro USD took entry, formed support, take profit. I think this is very good because very good. Price came down. This kind of closed with no bottom wick. Next kind of closed bullish. Confirmation for retracement, and you got it. Got the retracement. Hey, any thoughts on this GJ pattern? Let's take a look here. Do we have any thoughts? I have no thoughts on this GJ pattern. I think you're looking at the very small time frame. I think you need to look at a much higher time frame. You need to zoom in on the candles as well. Like because you need to know where the next candle is going to go, and that next candle is going to be your move. Hello from Sydney, Australia. Found your stream 4 days ago. Great stuff. Ooh, great stuff, man. Great stuff. Let's take a look at your JPY here. Yeah, it's kind of like ranging here. The higher time frame, 1 hour time frame, we're ranging on your JPY. If we break above, I think we can continue up towards 122.400. Do you always have stops protected? Yes. It's always important to protect stops. Man, if you're not protecting stops, I don't know what you're doing. What's your opinion on the candlestick patterns? Do you think they relied upon taking trades? Oh yeah, I think candlestick patterns, candles do print patterns, over and over again. So it definitely works. So this is a 20 pip range on GJ. All right, let's set up some annotations in the chart. Yeah, I think going down, we have room to probably come down towards 133,800 if it does continue down. I think this could be a good target here, 133,800. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Either we're going to break above 134,340 or we're going to break below, 134,100, go to 134 and then eventually coming down here. So far, I think it's really easy because now we're just waiting. Yesterday, Asian session, got some sells in the Asian session, but that was about it. And now I just gotta wait over here. Probably stupid question. Does GJ follow GU or GU follow GJ? None. I mean, if you're looking at GJ and GU in New York and London overlap, what you have to understand is that GU is influenced by the pound and the US dollar. And GJ is only influenced by the pound. I didn't watch GJ before. I started watching your live a couple months ago. I started trading the pair to learn and understand. Best decision I ever made. Oh, nice. Do you have any guests for Friday stream? Yes, we're gonna have people from Forex Tips coming on. They're also the guys behind Funding Talent. That's also a proprietary funding program. I think it's much better, that program. So I think, yeah. So they're gonna talk over there. So they're gonna talk about that, how they got into it, how they started. So it's gonna be pretty good. Why do you use stop loss when you can add multiple positions? That's a very interesting question. I think we use stop losses so that we don't lose more than what we wanted to lose, right? Yeah, man. I think this page is really good. Forex Tips 101. Really, really good page. I mean, you go to this page and this is just amazing page. I mean, look at this content, man. So nice. Yeah, so we're gonna have them on tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna have them on. Next Friday we've scheduled to have Nick Sean FX as a guest. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. Oh, hey, you're welcome, Jacob. Yeah, I made sure it came through. Ooh, wrong chart, man. Wrong chart. Yesterday we had 0 wrong charts. Today we got, man, come on. Come on, man. We gotta send the right chart. What's this? GJ, if the next candle break the high of the current candle, enter a buy, counter trend looking left. Yeah, I think you'll need to wait for a candle to break and close above this area. Yeah. How many viewers did you have back in January? I think in January we were topping at around, I'd say like 1400, 1500. Um, Last night 134, 479, 134, ooh, 479 was a conflict. Do you think we may have issues if the price pushes up to 450? Yeah, I mean, if price pushes up, what you have to look at is that um, if, let's say, price is moving up above this area, right? And once price pushes up, it's going to look left and see that, okay, we had some consolidation here. So once price comes up to this area, it's going to be like, okay, well, maybe I want to reject this area, or maybe I want to start consolidating in this area, right? Because this whole area is a consolidation. And when you have consolidation here in this area, and when you look on the smaller time frames, if you look on the smaller time frame now, this area basically has a let's say that it has a support and it has like a minor resistance right over here. You know, that's why if price is going to come up, it may start rejecting it or it may start consolidating in it. So, like, you know, if this area was a one clean candle going down, then you could say that, okay, there's a very high probability price will go all the way up to, you know, 134, 550. But so there's a chance it might kind of like range or reject this area. So that's what's kind of like sketchy. So where it seems like we're rejecting 134, 340. Hopefully no one's in a buy right now because it's not a buy right now. It's ranging. Hello, brother. I'm from India. How much leverage you use for $1,000? Um, you can do anything you want. I think like one to all my TikTok fans. Yeah. I think 1 to 200 is pretty good. 1 to 200, 1 to 400. What's this? GJ, making a lower low, 4 time frame, time looking for a sell at this zone. Okay, okay, okay. I think you have to, I think you have to really be fluid as well because what if price doesn't break above here? What if price just, you know, like starts rejecting as it is? So probably gonna have to wait. But if we break below here, man, we are coming down, downtown. Oh, we should message Dota 2 to create an auto wheel. Oops, yeah, Dota 2. I felt so good taking one loss and not trading again yesterday, still working on not pressuring myself. Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, when you take a loss and you don't pressure yourself to take another trade, I think that's a really, really good feeling. I think if your trading history only shows like, let's say, 2 trades, 3 trades, even if they're 3 losses, man, that's perfectly fine. At least you're not taking random trades, you know, which you can't really document. Some people are asking why I only use Huskar in Dota 2. The only reason is why because I focus on my plan. You know, even when I play games, I focus on just one thing, and if I can just get good at that one thing, then in the long run, I'm going to be like really good at it, right? Like the aim is to win games and win trades. So just gotta focus on a few things. Yeah, man, Huskar when he's fed, oh my God, with an armlet, a blade mail, and a heart, it's done. There's, I mean, yesterday I had a game, I had like 15 kills, but then we lost the game because my team was shit. How would you work stop loss and sells with 4-hour support? I think when you talk about like if the 4-hour support gets broken, the only way you can have a stop loss is if you can figure out on the smaller time frames, right? So we'll have to wait and see how it like you know breaks the support and then where we can have a like a stop loss. So we'll have to wait. Right now there's no trade because you know price is ranging. So let me just make this a little bit bigger. Here we go. in a range. Do you feel that when the market is extremely volatile, it's better to trade based on a 15-minute chart? Yes. Yes. I mean, when there's volatile time, then yeah, you can do that, like on a small time frames. All right, what's this chart here? This is the, oh, I think this is the 4-hour chart. Strong resistance, entry on a bearish 15-minute candle in bear direction, 21 pip range, anticipating NY open to provide bearish momentum. Okay, so you took entry on the 15-minute time frame for the price to continue moving down. Okay, I'm probably gonna wait for the support to break. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait for the support to break. If the range is broken to the downside, will you take a sell? Yes. Yeah. I think selling position is going to be very, very valid if you break below 134, 130. I think that's going to work out well. But the only problem is that the range we have below 134, 130 is at like 133, like 134 even, like 14, 15 pips away. I still think it's enough range, but then furthermore, you got down till 133, 800. So if you keep that 133, 800, then you can say, okay, you know what, we got a 33 pip range, we got a bigger range. So we'll have to see when this breaks the range. Either it's going to break at NY open or it's going to break at NYC open, like at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Any way to join the Zoom chats? No, it's only for members and guests, so if you're chosen to be a guest on the stream, normally people get chosen to be on a guest on the stream due to public demand. And again, if someone wants someone to be a guest on the stream, then yeah, we try to make that happen. I think it's when people start messaging one person like 100 times, yo man, come on a guest, come on a guest. And then they're like, oh shit, okay, I've been summoned. I've been summoned as a guest. What's this? Took a sell after price closed below the minor support. Miner, are you in a coal mine? What's going on? Are you mining for gold? Yeah, I think this was a bad sell, even though when the candle got faked out. Okay. Yeah, I think you took a sell at the bottom there. Let's take a look here on GU. This was in GU, right? Let's take a look here on GU. Yeah, it wasn't the best of sells. If you look on the 30-minute, yeah, you took it right at the bottom. I think what you need, yeah, man, this is a support right over here. Look at this to the left-hand side. There's a support. I think best thing, and it also broke a support too. So that was a very bad trade. I think some people still have a problem with this, like they basically price breaks support, comes down, and then they take a sell and price goes the opposite way. Or when price breaks a resistance right here, it breaks a resistance, they take a buy and price comes down the opposite way and they're like, oh man, what's going on? So I think what you will need to do is you need to wait for price to maybe create like a minor resistance and then take a sell. I think that would work much better. Have you ever thought about having a female trader as a guest? That would be something different. Yeah, I have someone in mind from YouTube, and I'm gonna contact them, and then I'm gonna see if they want to come on or not. So we'll see what happens. Will GJ be in some way affected by the Euro news? Yes, yes. With the Euro news coming in 45 minutes, there will be some sort of like a whipsaw. A whipsaw is like maybe wicks here and there, but nothing really. Nothing really prominent. I don't think so. All right, let's take a look here. This is Euro New Zealand. Took an entry on a 30-minute time frame as price broke resistance with the anticipation the net zone will be retested. Okay, you're in New Zealand coming up. You got a stop loss down over here. You got, yeah, I think zones are correct. This is correct zone. This is good. I like it. Do you have a daily routine? Yes. My daily routine is I wake up in the morning, I drink some water, and then I have a banana or an apple or whatever fruit I can, and then that's it. And then we come over here, man. That's it. That's my morning routine. What do you think of high frequency traders? I think high frequency trading exists, and like it's pretty good. I'm pretty sure the high frequency traders are now asking about, hey, what do you guys think about these guys who live stream in the morning? What do you guys think about those guys? They, they only take one or two trades. All right, we're getting in some gold analysis here now. Let's take a look at that. Gold. If price break the support, it will retest and go down. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I think it should go down because we got this USD retail sales, and I think the numbers should be good. We should get higher numbers. Because man, in the US, everything is open in the US. Everything is open in the US, and that's making money. That's generating, tax revenue. So retail sales should go up. I mean, if they go down, I'd be surprised. I'd be like, yeah, I just don't know what's going on because, like, logically, if you look at it, everything's open in the U.S., so that's generating money. Bank of England governor speech in 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Since price is ranging for a long time, could be an impulse entry above the new high. No, I don't think so. You'll need to wait for because like yesterday we tried impulse entries here, right? We tried impulse entries at this area here yesterday, right here. Didn't really work. So same thing over here. You need to wait for price to break and close. Break and close above. Looks like Euro JPY is breaking out of the zone. I think it's getting ready. It's getting ready to pop out of the zone. Ooh, we have Joshua Lindsay. Joshua Lindsay donated $100 today. I think I think we've matched the highest donation with Daniel Savage. Daniel Savage was the highest one. Now we got two the highest ones. This $100 it goes towards a non-profitable organization from YouTube to basically do it. Yeah. So I guess we can get Joshua Lindsay out of the gulag. We can get Joshua Lindsay out of the gulag here. Um, oh, okay. Oh, he's right over here. Oh, yes. All right, all right. Oh, that was Josh. Josh, come on, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not used to reading your name as Joshua. I was like, who's Joshua? Josh, okay, makes sense, makes sense. Um, Knowing the pair's ATR is one very relevant play in those pullbacks on an entry. I just need to be acknowledged. GJ average daily is over 10 days, only 86 pips. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Can you keep the donations and trade the money on a separate account? No, I can't. YouTube automatically sends it to a non-profit, something like that. When it's ranging, are the chances of it retesting lower and just melts, takes off? Yeah, I mean, when it's ranging, you just have to wait. You have to be very cautious, because if price is coming up to a resistance, you're going to think that it's going to break up, right? And then you're going to take a buy and then price will retrace. So that's the whole problem being when the price is ranging. And if price breaks the support, you think it's going to continue down, but essentially it should do a retest and then continue down. So you have to wait. There are some confluences I got from two sources. And one source was 10 Essentials of Forex. If you go over here, actually instead of using Bing, which sucks, we're going to go towards google.com. And we're gonna do this 10 essentials of Forex trading. Go to PDF, try to see if we can bring up a part over here, something in the book. I think they are loading the preview. We have to look at, there was this chapter. I only read certain chapters from books, right? So this is the chapter I read from this book. This was this one here, consolidating, bracketing, accumulation, or sideways movement. This was the most important chapter I read from the book. Let's go to page 175, right? 44, go to 100, go to, what's this? 152. Let me find, oh yeah, this is it. There we go. See now, sell resistance by support. Only if the range is big. Only if we have a bigger range. That's the only reason you should do that. See now, price is ranging. This section talks about what's going to happen, when price doesn't do a retest. And it is what it is. Most times, price just breaks a consolidation and doesn't really do a retest. So then you got to look at the candles here and to see how you could have caught the move. If we go further down, so these are like different things they have talked about, bull, bear traps, whatever. I didn't never really focus on that. This is like price is ranging, starts to break down, breaks the low over here. Same thing here. This was like a fake out here, and price came down. They don't really talk about the fake out, but it's kind of like they say, oh yeah, price went up, came down, and then continued moving down. So yeah, so this was the only chapter I read from this book, 10 Essentials of Forex. I'm a very selective reader. Everything else was just, a lot of different informations that I didn't really want to know or read about. So yeah. Can you talk about compounding accounts and how do people grow their accounts from 5,000 to 100,000? How long does that take and things of that sort? Um, yeah, so basically when you're talking about, let's go to googledrive.com. Let me open my Google Drive. Compounding is easy. I mean, let's say your account is at $1,000, right? Your account is at $1,000, and now you want to bring it up to, like, let's say you want to compound. So let's say the first day you do 2%, and then after a week, let's say after a week, your gain is like almost 7%. So coming into the second week, what you want to do is you want to increase your lot sizes by 7% as well. Because now you're increasing lot sizes based on your account growth. Trying to find this sheet. We had a sheet over here. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, so I guess someone has really changed this. Maybe change this to 2%. Oh, we can't. We can't. Someone ruined it. Someone ruined the whole data sheet. So basically, this is, yeah, man, someone really ruined it. I'll have to fix it. So yeah, we'll fix it and we'll get back to it. What's a good re-entry for your JPY? A good re-entry for your JPY is not here because it hasn't really broken this range yet. It needs to break above it. It needs to break above this range for you to have an entry. All right, let's take a look at this. Was waiting for a close buys. Okay, was waiting for a close above. 215-minute candles were a big rejection break on a 30-minute. Okay. Waited for the 15-minute candle to close bearish. Set a sell limit. Okay, there we go. Sell limit activated. Yeah, I think this is a bad trade, Lee. This is a very, very bad trade. I mean, this was a trade taken in the range. And I think this was an attempt to force a trade when there was no trade. So I think, yeah, I mean, shouldn't have been taking a trade in the range. Yeah, because it's just ranging right now. Look at this. This is in a 20 pip range, and it's just there's absolutely no trade. Because you have to look at this, right? You have to look at this and you have to say that, okay, um, what are the chances of you winning a trade, right? Are your chances higher by winning a trade in this range, and then you're going to say, or instead of taking a trade in this range? That's what you have to ask yourself. Like, how big of a chance do you have to win a trade? On the top range or in the bottom range? Obviously, the answer is going to be in the top range because you have clean candles here to the left. The bottom range is going to be much tougher because, price is consolidating. So just by, like, I mean, it's just very self-explanatory that, okay, now maybe we want to wait for price to either break above this consolidation or break below, where we will have, like, like a much higher chance of winning a trade. What do you think about this setup? Can you look at on your own? Interesting question. Let's take a look here. AUD USD 30 minute. You think the news can affect this pair? AUD USD. Yeah. Yeah, USD news is going to affect this pair 100%. I think for Euro pairs, you need to wait for the news. Yeah, you'll need to wait for the news for the Euro pairs. It's going to be very important for you to wait for the news. How much lot size you use for $1,000? Probably like 0.1, 0.2. It's pretty good. 0.1, 0.2. Yeah, I think it's going to move up here, Euro JPY and stuff like that. I guess if it does move up, that's like it's maybe pricing in the good news. Because even if the news comes the same, it means good news. Was this strong resistance on high time frame? Problematic area, we tapped into it. Minus support, resistance. Okay, makes sense. We're probably going to wait for this area to break for continue to go down. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Is the news looking positive or negative for GJ? There is no news for GJ. I mean, there's members speaking. I mean, he spoke like half an hour ago, but like, there's nothing else for GJ. So I don't know what's going on. They were saying ECB isn't expected to surprise us with anything. We should stay calm. Yes. So that's perfect. I mean, they'll keep the rates the same. It's gonna be good news. We're gonna have a spike up, and then probably gonna. I mean, if we start ranging between 122, 130, and 122, 400, I think then people will have like a much better opportunity to take a trade. Because now we've been moving into a much bigger range. Like a 25, 26 pip range. When you move into another house with your mom and dad, and they give you a bigger room, you're like, oh man, I got a bigger room now. It's kind of what's happening here. We're moving from a small room to a much bigger, clean room up here. Do you not trade gold at all anymore? Yes, I don't trade gold at all anymore, but we still do analysis on gold. Looks like we're breaking up. Now as price is breaking up above the range, I'm not taking any impulse entries at all. Nothing. I'm probably gonna wait for like a retest or something like that to take a trade. Because, and also at the same time, since I'm waiting, I know for a fact that I might also miss the move. So I'm willing to sit and miss the move rather than take an impulse entry and force a trade, you know. So I think that's very important. I think it's also important for new traders to be willing to miss the move, because if you're going to miss the move once, you're going to look at that and say, okay, how could you have entered the move? And you're going to make notes of it. Second time it's going to happen, you're going to miss the move again. Third time it's going to happen, you're going to miss the move again. Fourth time it's going to happen, you're going to be like, okay, you know what? I've seen this happen 3 times, and maybe I want to enter with a small position now just to see. And you're going to enter with a small position, and you may win the trade. And now you're going to be like, okay, you know what? Perfect. I'm winning trade right now. Probably the fourth time and the fifth time it happens, you start entering with your regular lot sizes. So I think that's very important for a trader psychology, to actually sit and be willing to miss the moves. Because in the start, when you're coming to trade, you're not focusing on making the money. Like, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but you're not coming in to make money. You're coming in to see that, okay, is my analysis actually correct? Can I have good entries? Because once you can get good entries, then you start looking towards, okay, how can I scale this into something where it's gonna, like, reap me like nice monetary rewards, or whatever you want to call it. Yes, experience is what makes you decide between impulse trades and retest trades. So I'm probably gonna wait. Let's take a look at this chart here. If the candle closes above this zone, would you buy? For your JPY, I'd want to see like a retest or something, because if the news pushes it down, then this move becomes a fake out. So we'll have to wait. Hey, Sacha is back from his camping trip, from his month-long camping trip. Oh, nice hats. He's the only one who has these hats. Yeah, seems very comfortable. Um, can the euro and USD news affect GJ? Yeah, somewhat. Somewhat they can. Not a lot, but like somewhat they can affect GJ. So we'll have to wait and see. For buys on GJ, would like to see the break of the 4-hour high and create a support at least on the 5-15 minute. Yeah, I'd like to see that as well. Maybe break the high on the 4-hour. It hasn't really broken the low, so if it breaks the high, then there's a higher chance it's going to continue moving up towards 134, 560, or even 550. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Ooh, someone just shorted UJ. Interesting. Cowboys, we got a lot of Cowboys here today. So you just gotta stay calm. It's Thursday. There's some news coming on. There's gonna be some, like a lot of things happening. So you're not gonna miss moves. That's just. What do you think about signal services? I think they're good. Signal services. I mean, if you're learning, I used a signal service when I first started. It was OTM signals. That's what I used back in the day, because I didn't know anything about trading at all. Nothing. So I saw someone's results on ATM. They were winning. I'm like, okay, perfect. I'll give it a shot. And then I started looking at OTM signals, and every signal they sent, some signals made sense. Some signals didn't make sense, because at the same time I was learning as well, and I would like plot it out. Some people, they do is they get the signal, they just plot them out blindly, but I would actually plot it out on the chart, and then I would say that, okay, does this make sense or not? And for the most part, they kind of made sense, but not a lot. So yeah, I think I used them for about a month. I had a couple losing trades, and then I was like, man, like their analysis is not good at all, so just stopped using it. Let's check out this trade idea here. How many trades do you take per day? Probably like 2, 3 trades. two, three trades, USD CAD 30 minute, anticipating the price will broke through the resistance and wait for a retest. Yep, that can happen. That can happen. Because if it comes up, then it's creating a like a minor consolidation area over here. Ooh, we're breaking up over here now. We're breaking up above 134, 350. Just letting it go, you know? Letting it go, not jumping in it. Honest opinion on FTMO. Um, yeah, so my honest opinion on FTMO is that I don't agree with one thing, you know. I don't agree with like, you know, where you have to pay to get a demo account to be tested for, you know, 2 weeks. I think if someone's going to test your trading abilities and based on those trading abilities for 2 weeks, they'll hand you money. I think that's just absolutely insane. I think I mean, if you're going to do testing, testing should be done on a complete level that, hey man, here's here's a demo account, trade this for 3 months. If you're successful, perfect, we'll give you money to trade. Um, I think if you're going to do testing for about 2 weeks, maybe not do testing at all. You know, like maybe not do testing at all if you're going to do that. So that's my opinion on FTMO accounts. Who donated $100? Someone who's very profitable here because of the streams. Someone who has a very nice car. I believe price will go to 134.50 reverse and then go to 134. Oh, 134.50 reverse and then go to 134. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if we keep on breaking and closing above like 134 350, then it should come up to 134, 550, 500. And then if it creates like a minor resistance and then it starts to come down. So, but we need this to close above here first. That's, trading like charts and candles, it's like life, like you can plan whatever we want, we can have all sorts of ideas, but the charts will have its own plan for us. We can have ideas and something can happen and everything just be thrown out the window. Just like life, in life we can plan so many things. Oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, but at the end of the day, life has its own plan for everybody. Sometimes life like slaps you on the side. You're like, oh shit, didn't see that one coming. I'm doing good on demo account. When it comes to live account, I can't pull the trigger. Can you please throw some lights? Yeah, I mean, if you're having problems entering position, I'd say like try entering like a small position, like 0.01, 0.02, but you have to execute. You have to execute. If you're not going to execute, you're not going to find what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I had that problem for a very long time, but you have to execute. If you're not executing, bro, it's going to I mean, you're not going to know what's working for you or not. Raja, the worst life coach ever. Yes. Um, guys, what's your spread on GJ? It's 1.3, 1.4. So we're just kind of like just waiting right now. It's a great business model. You get 100,000, but if you lose 10,000, you are done. So they basically give you 10K. So many people fail, so they are profits. Yeah, I think I haven't really. I don't know. I don't know. Like on Friday, we're gonna talk more about it. We're gonna talk more about the industry and stuff like that. I basically invited FTMO on the live streams, and they basically declined. They declined. They're like, no, we don't want to do this live stream thing. They declined. I'm like, well, okay. And then we approached this other company, Funding Talent. They don't do any tests. They don't do any demo account thing. You just get like a straight live account, and you can withdraw bi-weekly. You don't have to wait for 45 days or something like that. You can just withdraw bi-weekly. So I was like, okay, you know what? Instead of doing like a 2-week test, rather not do a test at all. So I like their business model much better. Okay, here's the money. Give me a leveraged account, and off we go. So we're gonna see. I know tons of people that have been paid out by funding talent. Oh, nice. Yeah. So we're going to talk about those things on Friday. Friday is going to be a very important stream for people who are looking to get funded, for people who are looking to know more about that part of the industry. Because at one part you have the Forex mentorship, education. On the other part you have the Forex signals and the algos, and then there's this new niche. This new niche is now called the Forex funded accounting. So you have like a whole different domain over there. What's the name for that one that doesn't have tests? Oh, it's called. We're gonna know tomorrow. We're gonna know more about that tomorrow. Um, are fake outs on a 15-minute valid as well? Or would you rather not trade them as reconfirmations? Yeah, okay, so basically, if let's say that this next 15-minute candle comes back down, right? Then you can say, okay, 15-minute candle has did a fake out. Then that would mean that this 30-minute candle would close below. So it's the same thing. Like 15-minute candle did a fake out, but the 30-minute candle closed below resistance. And then the same thing on the 1 hour there as well. So yeah, I kind of like waiting on your JPY here as well. We got news coming in 15 minutes. Hi Raja, you ignored my question. Just wanted your approval before I sign up with the guru. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you look at the chat, they're like 20 messages that come every, I'd say 30 seconds. So it's a very high chance I'm going to miss, some messages. Will you enter a trade? No, I'm not. I'm waiting. I'm waiting because if I'm going to keep my stop based on the 30-minute chart, and if I enter a trade here, my stop is going to be, I think, pip wise, it's not that big, but just visually looking at it, it's kind of big, like it's deep in the zone. So I don't want my stop to be deep in the zone. I want price to maybe create like a solid support here and then continue to go up. That's what I want. Because yesterday I was a little impulsive on the trades. I was a little jumpy on the trades. So today I might not going to do that. Tonight I'm not going to be like a little more relaxed. Because yesterday I took a losing day, right? So I got to be more careful today. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This chart is GJ take profit all the way up. Oh, okay, so you think we're going to continue moving up? Yeah, okay, yeah, this can work. Since I'm waiting, I'm also willing to miss the trade. Like if this candle just pushes up, I'm basically willing to miss the trade. So there's no rush at all. So let's see what happens. Have you ever did a swing trade? Yeah, I try swing trades I'd say every 3-4 days I try a swing trade. And the only reason I try a swing trade is by leaving my one position at break even. Sometimes, well, it's rare that it keeps on going overnight, but then, most times it doesn't do that. Do you think multi-wallets like CoinZoom have potential? I think they do in their own domain. They do have a lot of potential. So, Raja, you have to wait for the market to suit your expectations, right? Yes. If you could check it out, would be really appreciated. His account is HFX. He seems really good, but I've only learned Forex for a month, so don't want to risk my money. Yeah, HFX is pretty good. He's pretty good. I know him personally. We talk here and there, so yeah, you can just contact him and ask questions, and that's what I tell people, like, just ask questions. If you're satisfied, just go ahead. I've only had one mentor. I've only had one mentor. I only paid one person to learn to get the basics, the basic ideas, and that was about it. Only one person. And I knew that, okay, if this person can give me the tools, if he can give me the toolbox to sort it out and to really try to figure out, I think I can manage it. So when you sign up with mentorships and stuff like that, you just get a toolbox. You get a toolbox. Some tools are very specific, and some tools are like, okay, here's everything, go help yourself. So and then you just gotta try to manage it. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. Your JPY is now retracing. We got news coming in what? 11 minutes. We got euro interest rates coming in 11 minutes. It's going to be interesting. What's this? GU, is it okay to take a sell on retest of the lows? Yes. I think if you find a minor resistance form, you can take a sell coming down to this low over here. Because price is in momentum, it made a low, it's retracing. So yeah, I think it can continue moving down. How long were you trading before you got a mentor? Man, me, I opened a $200 account. I'll tell you this, okay? How I decided to get a mentor. Like why? What was the reason? So I opened a $200 account in April, and then at the same time I was talking to Ted at the same time. I was asking him questions because he's doing good. And then I blew that account. That $200 account I'd opened in April, I blew it in like, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks I blew it. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I need I need some direction or whatever. And then Ted was doing his webinar, and when he was doing this webinar, right before that webinar, he took big losses. So I'm like, okay, you know what? At least he's real. He's showing stuff. So all right, so I'm going to sign up with him. And then I signed up with him, and because I knew I needed help because I was just starting in something I didn't know about. Even though I found that information on babypips.com, but still, it's better to have someone on your side. So yeah, I just did that, and that was about it. I think in June, so April, May, June. After 2 months, or after like a month and a half, I decided to just get something to really speed up the process. Any advice um, for those working on earning a living through trading, but also at a crossroads on whether or not take the first step into traditional career paths? I think if you have an option to step into a traditional career path, I think you should 100% go with that. Go with that 100% because what that's going to do is that's going to take off some stress from trading. Because when we're trading to like let's say that if you're not working, if you're not working and you're relying on, let's say, trading to pay some bills, man, trading is going to get really, really stressful. The pressure can really get to you. So I think it's really important to have like a side hustle, have like a side income, so that trading is less stressful. Um, yeah, exactly. What's this chart here? Oh, no chart here. Can you report Forex funded in Telegram? He's a scammer. Scammed me over 50,000. Scammed over 50,000 off people. Wow. 50,000. That's a big payday. GJ, 30 minute. With the previous candle closing over the resistance line, with the candle pulling down here, could this be entered a good time to entry? Okay, so if you're looking for entries over here, I think a good entry maybe it's going to be very risky, but it may be when the 30-minute candle breaks the high of the previous one, and then you can have a stop below the current 30-minute candle. That could be an entry, but it would be very, very risky. I'm not going to take that entry. I'm waiting for something solid to appear, but like, if yeah, see, like right now, like it broke the high, so now you're anticipating it to continue up and not break this current low over here and possibly continue up towards 134 or 550. But it's extremely, extremely risky. Um, did you see the guy who hacked Twitter accounts? Twitter share dropped three. Wow. Oh yeah, that guy, man. People sent him money. That guy made an easy $100,000. Easy $100,000. People are so stupid, man. Like, what do you mean? Elon Musk is gonna say, "Send me Bitcoin, and I'm gonna send you double back." Why can't he just send you money? And on to top that off, I think, man, he could have really fucked up the markets. If he could have just tweeted saying that, okay, so Elon Musk saying that, okay, Twitter stock is way too high and we need a retracement. If he would have said that, man, the stock would have dropped so much. He could have made Trump say something. He could have made Bill Gates say something. He could have made so many people say something. He would have really fucked up the markets, you know. But phew, man, I think it's just amazing. It's just amazing how someone can do that. It's just amazing how someone can like really weasel their way through these firewalls and security systems and do this. I think that's very, very fascinating. Man, it's just unreal. Unreal. It's like a daytime superhero, just like kind of like going into the systems and really try and mess things up. What did you do after mentorship? What do you mean? Like it's not a task. You're not on a mission. He made $7 to $8 million. Oh wow, yeah, it's crazy. People, he made more than 100,000. Yeah, till like yesterday, he made like almost 100,000 after like 3 hours of he doing that. Um, these guys were doing the Bitcoin cam on YouTube. Oh no, I haven't. Man, with this Bitcoin, a lot of scams popped up with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was going up and up. Wow, a lot of people got sucked into it. Can you get Matthew Todd? Yes, we will. We're gonna get that set up. When you were trading pre-London to New York Open, do you sit in chart for 6 hours straight if time permit? Yeah, I think that was very toxic. So when I was trading the London session, I would sit through the pre-London all the way to London close, and that was very toxic. I had to really reduce my hours. What makes this trade seem like it has more risk compared to any other setup? Okay, so what makes this more risky is because the 30-minute candle is still open. We don't know whether this 30-minute candle will, now it broke the high of the previous 30-minute candle, like it kind of did by like half a pip, quarter of a pip. And when candles break highs, this means it should continue moving up, right? The only thing that makes it risky is because it's open right now. It hasn't closed right now. So if we look on the 15-minute time frame, if the 15-minute candle does not close with a strong bullish body, then there's a very high chance the next 15-minute candle can continue back down in the range. So you would need this candle to close with a strong bullish body. So make sure the next 15-minute candle also starts going up, which in turn will push the 30-minute candle up. So basically, that's why you need this candle to close like a strong bullish body. And then when you're taking a trade, when it's breaking the high, you're basically taking an impulse trade, right? You're taking an impulse trade, expecting price to continue moving up since it couldn't break the low. So if it's going to break the highs, then when price moves up, it basically makes higher highs and higher lows, right? Yeah. So I'm waiting for a solid confirmation here because, yesterday I got caught in these moves right over here. I got caught in these moves. So today I'm probably going to play it safe. Plus also it's my last day to trade here today as well. So that's why I got to play it safe. Your JPY is doing the same thing as GJ, but the whoa, why last day? Because Fridays I decided not to take trades on Fridays unless it's something more important. So yeah, in like 3 minutes, we're getting the news. Euro interest rates are coming in 3 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, in 3 minutes, we're about to see some fireworks. If not in 3 minutes, probably at like NY Open. Just wanted to ask that if candle breaks highs or lows just by XX pips, how does it give a strong confirmation? Doesn't a break can happen anyway due to large volume? Yeah, it can happen, right? So it's probability. It's basically just probability. It's probability like, okay, if it's broken the high, there's a higher probability it's going to continue moving up provided there's a clean range, right? But there's also a probability it may not move up. We got news coming in like 3 minutes, so maybe that news may affect how GJ moves up, because it's Euro news, and Euro news is very directly related to the pound, because they do trade together and they're like basically buddies, right? So a number of those things can happen. So that's also one of the reasons why I'm not willing to participate as it's breaking the high. But once it breaks the high or the lows, then there's a high probability price will continue moving the other day. But you can't discount the odds of it not working as well. So we got a minute and a half. A minute and a half coming in right now. EJ has break, retest, and go up. Yeah, EJ's in there right now. What makes you decide to wait for solid confirmation? I think solid confirmations, they are good confirmations because they're solid. So, I mean, I just feel like I should wait for it. There's nothing that makes me decide. I'm just not comfortable taking a buy here. So some people are in buys, that's fine, but I'm waiting for a solid confirmation. Maybe for price to maybe move up, come down, create a support. That's something I'm going to wait for. Because, and also another reason is that I'm not in a rush to trade today. Maybe if I wanted to take a trade today, I maybe would have been in it, but like the stop loss, even like it seems too big here in this candle, so we'll wait and see what happens. All right, 15 seconds. Ooh, we're coming down, we're going up. What's going on here? GJ's pushing back. 3, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, it closed back in the range. 15-minute candle, but the 30-minute candle is still above here. GJ 15-minute closed like a small body candle, just like yesterday. Yeah. I mean, they're keeping the rates the same. I think essentially the initial move should be coming up. That should be the initial move coming up. But if it starts coming back down below 122, 100, then it's going to continue moving down. But initially, since the news was as expected, that's considered as like good news. Same rates. Oh yeah, obviously they had to keep the same rates. They can't change the rates. They had to keep the same rates, and they've been same for a very, very, very long time. Yeah, back in 2016 they were at 0.05, and then they changed. Why are you not playing gold anymore? Because gold spreads are too high for me, so that's why. Oh, looks like we're moving up over here. See, there's always a probability. The probability is higher when price breaks a higher or low. There's a higher probability price will continue moving that way, provided there's a range. But I want like a retest, maybe make a support, and then take a trade. ECB rates moves the market only at the press conference. Yes. So we're gonna see that happen at like 8:30. We're gonna see what happens. Maybe at NY Open we get some moves too. I mean, see, we were correct. With the same rates initially, it should continue moving up, and it really is moving up here a little bit. GJ has now reaching this consolidation area to the left. What time actually is NY Open? NY Open is at 8 a.m. Your target has a typo. It's not 340. Yeah, it's 340. Target if price breaks above 134, 340. And this is 134, 340. Ooh, so the break of the high was at 134, 390. Oh, this should be 10 pips by now. Man, people who took these buys, very nice. Yeah, am I in? No, I'm in no trades. No trades at all. I decide to sit out of this trade. Damn, I think that's pretty good. I think the probability was on the side here since it broke the high. 11 pips up from that entry. I think the stops were like 7, 8 pips. It's pretty good. Here's a chart coming in. Let's take a look at this chart. Oh, nice buy. This is beautiful. Could this be 4-hour fake out? No, not really. I mean, look, we also broke the 4-hour higher here too to continue going up. So I think it made sense here. 15-minute continue moving bullish. Yeah, I think this was a very good breakdown as price was moving. I didn't pull the trigger. Um, no real volume. Is it better to aim for 10 pips when we start trading, or is it better for bigger moves? I think it's very important to maybe focus on maybe like smaller moves in the start, like smaller moves, 10 pips, 12 pips, because what I can see is like on smaller time frames, let's say the 30-minute, 1 hour time frames, you can basically get you can get like 10, 12 pips easy. It's really easy to get 10, 12 pips on smaller time frames. So once you get in the habit of securing profits, then I think you start changing your mindset, because what happens is in the start everybody wants to catch the big moves, and while you're catching the big moves you go in profit sometimes, and when you go in profit sometimes you want to let it open, and you want price to keep on running, but the main thing is you have to secure profits. Whenever you see some sort of profits where you can say that, okay, I've been getting these profits almost on every trade, I think I need to secure those profits and then leave like a runner or whatever. Oh wow, looks like it's going to continue moving here. Your JPY is also moving here. I think it should continue up towards 122 300. GJ should continue up to and tap 134 500. It tapped into it. It should continue up to our target up over here. Since it has volume, now it's in this consolidation here to the left that we were talking about. And since it's in this consolidation now, it should continue up to this target. Yeah. Give me a runner target. I think it should be like 134 560. That should be the target for your runner. Man, I think if people took this trade based on the advices we gave over here, just, give a like on the stream, because I think this is a free trade given out. Although this was a high risk trade, but the probability was there. It's a beautiful move here. See, now since I missed this trade, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to look at that and I'm going to be like, okay, you know what? Price was ranging and this candle broke up, and now news was coming in, so we wanted to take a trade on this candle. How could we have taken a trade on this candle? So maybe if I would have entered at the break of the high, as we were talking about it, maybe we could have kept the stop below the current candle, as it broke the high. I think that would have been like a 8 pip stop with like a 11 pip gain. Not bad, not bad. I think 5 minute. There was just one 5 minute candle. Okay, makes sense. So now since I missed this trade, probably going to wait for price to maybe come down, create like a support, and then continue to go up. So that's something I could wait for. Why you don't want to take the trade when 30-minute candle close over the resistance? Maybe there's something I'm missing. No, there's nothing you're missing. There's absolutely nothing you're missing. If I don't feel like doing something, it doesn't mean it's something written in stone, right? I mean, I just wasn't comfortable taking the trade. There's absolutely nothing you're missing. I mean, if you wanted to take the trade, you should have taken the trade, right? There was clean candles here and price was breaking up. I just wasn't comfortable taking the trade. It's just my own feeling, man. I just can't explain. Like, I want to drink water right now, like I'm thirsty, but I don't want to really drink water right now. I I don't know, man. I just don't know how to explain my feelings. I closed in small profit before rates instead stop loss to break even with a small runner. I got stopped out. I re-entered on the break of the high of the 15-minute candle. Okay, so you got in at the break of this high over here. Made a nice profit. It's pretty good. I don't know how to explain feelings. I can't explain my feelings. Um, why aren't you comfortable? I just don't know. I just didn't want it to take a trade. Man, I don't want it to take a trade. There's nothing more to it. Uh, PTSD from yesterday. No, not really. PTSD. That's a good one. Could this be a fake out in GJ? I mean, it could be anything on GJ, man. I mean, the only way it's going to be a fake out is if a candle comes in close below this range. Then it's going to be a fake out. I mean, let's not think about things that are not happening. Let's just think about things that are happening. And what's happening is that we broke above, this area, so it should make like a support and continue going up. Yeah, like some people are not okay with missing trades. I'm completely fine with missing trades. Even if I miss trades, I'm completely fine because hey, you know what? If this is the move that's going to happen, maybe it's going to make a support and then I can take an entry. And also for people who missed this trade, I think it's pretty good now because now you can wait for a support and get like a much nicer entry with more, like a confidence and confirmations and then go up. So, there's nothing wrong with that. Can you help me? I open a trade and then I don't feel comfortable and I close and then trade hit target. What to do? Oh, oh, so sad. I think what you need to do at that point is maybe let like a small position run, maybe let like a .01 run or .02 run so you don't feel scared. I mean, when you open a trade and the trade is running, you're scared. You're not scared it's going to hit profits. You're scared that you might lose money. So now what you have to do is you need to now drop that risk down to a point where you can say that, okay, maybe I'm not going to lose money over here. So maybe if you open like a .1 lot, maybe reduce it to .01. If your if your lowest lot is .01, then I guess you gotta put more money in, right? But yeah, like drop it down to 0.01 and just let that run at break even. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna lose at break even, or you're gonna lose like $1. So what? What's the best thing that can happen? It might hit your take profit, and when it hits your take profit, now you're really building your confidence, you know. So that's what you got to do. You got to slowly build your confidence. No such thing as missing a trade. Technically, the market's once every seconds. Yes. You did not take this trade. Could this be because of you affected by previous loss? No, no, not really. Not really at all. I just didn't want to take the trade because there was news happening as well. I just didn't want to take a trade. It's one of my rules. Um, so if you didn't take the trade, I think you need to work on that. Why didn't you take the trade? Did you not take the trade because I didn't take the trade, or did you not take the trade because you were not comfortable, or did you not take the trade because this was the first time you were watching something this happen? So you need to work on that. Why did you not take the trade, and how could you take the trade if this happens the next time? You know, hey, let's say during news event, spread go up to 5-6 pips, okay, and my stop loss is below 6 pips, okay, below the candle. Technically, price doesn't go below the candle news. Yes. So if the spreads widen up and your stop loss is as far away as the spreads widen up, then yeah, you will get stopped out. Is there a difference in GJ and GU when it comes to profits and loss? GU seems to take more money from 10 pips than GJ. Yes. The pips are worth more on GU than they are on GJ. The pips are worth more on gold as they are on GJ. The pips are worth less on EJ, your JPY, so there are differences. If you trade AUD JPY, the pips are worth way more. No, way less. GP CAD, the pips are worth way less than GJ, so yeah, there are little differences. And these differences are just based on different currencies. Yeah, it depends on different currency you're trading. Entered on 143.333 when stop loss was 10 pips on the 30-minute candle. Price broke. We expected. Oh, secured 10 pips. 90% running at break even. Perfect, man. It's awesome. Your JPY is continuing moving bullish over here. I think it will continue moving bullish since this 1 hour candle is closing now. Wow, that was a nice move from like 194. Let's take a look at this chart here. When you're talking spread, is it bid versus ask or the volatility in the asset? It's the bid versus ask. Let's check out this masterpiece of a chart. This masterpiece. Ooh, wow, look at that. AUD Why you don't trade wicks at support resistance? Because when this wick is happening, we don't know whether this wick is happening or not. So this is the start of the new hour over here. The 1 hour candle, New York Open has started here. So yeah, probably just gonna wait. It basically tapped into this consolidation we talked about earlier over here. So probably gonna wait here to see if we kind of come down to create a support to go up or what happens. All right, what's this? Is it okay to take profit early or wait to get TP? Yeah, I think it's up to you. I think it's up to you. You really need to. Yeah, it's up to you if you want to take profits early or you want to wait or you want to leave it like a running. What do you mean when they're worth less or more? Is it because of the volatility in terms of pips? No, you need to go read that on babypips.com. Ooh, I think if this continues moving bullish on GJ, I think we can continue move towards 134.560. Just need to break above 134.480. Interesting. Should I close my EJ or still wait for my TP at 375? 375 all the way up over here. Yeah, I think if you want to hold it, you can hold it, but it depends where your entry is, right? I mean, if your entry is somewhere at 124, then you might want to put your stops at break even or something. Because, I mean, yeah, now you have to manage the trade. Since you're in the trade, all you got to do is just manage it. Would you re-enter on GJ? Nope. No, I'm not re-entering on anything. In 1 week, I've learned how to better position myself for entries into the market. Minor and major resistance, how to stop my losses. Oh, nice, man. That's amazing. Let's take a look at US 30 here. Ooh, US 30 is still stuck in a dilemma. We are stuck in a dilemma on US 30. Looks like GJ will continue moving up over here. Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't move up, if it moves up without a retest, then I guess there's no trades for me today. Could GU be a good buy after it retested? I think if you send a chart, then we'll take a look at it. Hey, what are you waiting to see so that you can enter a trade? Okay, so basically, what I'm waiting is, I'm waiting to see if we form some sort of a resistance, you know, so I can take a sell potentially. Or what I'm waiting to see is that if we do form a support to continue. So there are like two things I'm waiting for. One, like a resistance to potentially take a sell. I think that would be a very good trade in this nice big range. So yeah, let's just wait to see what happens here. I mean, if it forms like a resistance, I think that'll be good for a sell, but you know, if it continues going up, then there's no trade, right? If it continues to go up, then you can say, oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think US 30 should continue moving down over here because I think the pre-markets are down. Yeah, they're down by 139 points. It's above 100. So I think it should continue down to 26,680. Hey, I've recently started using a trading simulator and have been improvement on reading candlesticks. Any tip advice when it comes to trading on simulator? Yeah, maybe spend like maybe 2 hours a week on a simulator. I think that's pretty good. 2 hours a week. That's really good. What do you think about USD CAD buy? I think we need to send a chart on USD CAD. Yeah, this 134,500 should, I think, since it's a very strong area here, right? This whole area here, this whole area is extremely strong. This entire area, because you had a support here created for a long time, price broke it, rejected it. I think overall we're still bearish. So I mean, if we do form like a resistance in here, I think we should continue moving down, kind of like what happened yesterday. So it's something I'm going to wait for, even though it's moving up right now, which is totally fine. So I'm probably going to wait for that. Um, will you start trading Euro JPY? No, I don't feel the need. How does looking left on a lower time frame compare to higher ones that may not have consolidation zones lower time frames have? Yep, right over here. So like, you know, on lower time frames, you see this consolidation area, but on the higher time frames, you don't see that, right? So it's really important. The lower time frames, that's how lower time frames can give you some sort of confirmations. Ooh, nice. Someone donated $5. Thanks for the knowledge and pips and streams. Tips for consistency during losing streaks and bad weeks. Nice, nice. I think this is a good therapy if you're having losing trades. You know, you come down over here, you know, you're just like, okay, this guy is so calm, everything's so calm. Might as well stay calm too. Can I apply the same price action thing that we use in discounts to enter intraday positions? Yes, yes, you can, because candles move the same way on all time frames. 100%. Candles move the same way on all time frames. Except the 15-minute and lower time frames, because like those are weak confirmations. How can we donate to YouTube? Um, I don't know. Instead of donating to YouTube, donate to me. No, but like you can donate to YouTube if you want. I mean, if you can figure that out, then that's fine. You know, let me see if I can try it. I'm at 90% of my on my account on 2 weeks. Oh, nice, man. 10% a day. It's pretty good. What's the highest amount you've made off of a trade? Also, what was the trade? More of a high risk, high reward, stress free throughout. Yeah, it was in 2016. It was in no 2017. It was a trade I took. It was a pretty good amount. Paul does stream of 600 gets more likes than this stream with 2.3. Oh, that's fine. Julius Ornelas. Julius Ornelas is trying to start like a little war over here. That's fine. I think, yeah, it's okay. YouTube takes a third of all super chats, so you're already donating to YouTube. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. GJ 15 minute. When I'm trading, my setups are so smooth, like a penis in a pie. I really get nobody like you do. Come on, man. You can't put this on YouTube. That made me think about American Pie. um, oh, someone is selling at 134, 480. GJ, you're selling right here? I don't know, man. I don't know about this sell. I think you have to wait for some sort of confirmation. I just don't know. You just have to wait for confirmation. You can't sell it here. Come on. Candles are bullish, man. You can't sell it here. The gulag is calling. The gulag is awake today. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. What was the previous news time to be exact? I think if you go to forexfactory.com, you're gonna find out what the previous news time was, right? Right? The previous news time was 7:45. It's 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 11 a.m. right now. Your USD 30-minute chart, twice top right here, selling opportunities. Yeah, I mean, if you get a candle closing bearish, then you can get in a selling opportunity 100%. But you first need to wait for candles to close bearish. What are those black dots on the candles? I don't see any black dots. Oh, these black dots. Yeah, these are, there we go. They're gone. Do you watch the correlated pair New Zealand JPY to see moves on What? Why will I look at New Zealand JPY to see moves on GPJPY? Oh, to see early moves on GPJPY as it moves early. Where did you get that information from? Listen, I think wherever you got that information. So the comment was that do we look at New Zealand JPY to predict early moves on GBP JPY? This was the comment here. And I just don't see any relevancy on how New Zealand JPY will tell you where GBP JPY is going to go. When New Zealand JPY is closed in this session, yen is closed in this session, so it has no. I mean, how does. I just don't understand, man. I don't know where you got that information from. Wherever you got that information from, I think that is wrong information. You've been feeding. Okay, so I'm not going to say wrong information. That information is incorrect. That is just some garbage information you're getting from wherever you're getting that information. because the yen is closed in this session. In GJ, the yen is closed in the session. So there's nothing in those pairs that's influencing that pair. I mean, I don't know, man. I have no idea where people get this information from. That's just wrong information. Just logically think about it. Doesn't make any sense. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is GPCAD 4 hour. 4 hour made a support, bounced up. Actually, it made a low and bounced up. And now you're looking for a rejection in this area for price to continue moving down. This makes sense. That makes sense. Let's take a look at this here. Let's take a look at this here. So basically now price is coming up over here in GPCAD and it's coming up to this consolidation area. So I think the arrow you had over here, arrow which is pointing down, I mean, could have had some labeling on, but okay, we have an arrow coming down. So then on a small time frame, when we do some investigation over here, kind of made sense. Kind of makes sense over here that maybe if it forms a resistance, it may continue moving down. And if we measure this range, this is a nice big range, 30 pips till over here, and the low is right here, which is like 50, 60 pips. Yeah, I think with some confirmation, you could probably get one. Yeah, I think you'd have to be a magician to really understand how New Zealand JPY will move GPJPY. So I guess this move on GJ is actually going to continue at 134.340. I guess it's gonna continue and complete at that point. But if I see a resistance forming there, I'm probably gonna look for shorts. Probably gonna do that. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is 4 hour GJ. Candles making lower highs and lower highs and lower lows. Yeah, so if you see a resistance, I think it could be a decent sell. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Essentially, right now it's just coming right up to target. It's coming right up towards 134, 550. Oh, there we go, coming up right here. Damn, what a move. Completed that move. Right after it broke the high, kind of did a little bit of a retracement and continued up. Damn. There could have been a lesson learned here from the smaller time frames. Yeah, I guess from the 5 minute perspective, I think it could have been a very good catch. I mean, it could have been a catch here. Let's see how big this was. It's like 10 pips. Okay. But I guess it worked out really, really well. Since we had clean candles here. I'm not excited because I was in the trade. I'm excited because, this idea I had in my mind, it worked. So this tells me that these ideas, they work most of the time. You know, um, please, me admin privilege so I can delete these stupid gulag comments. I haven't had any stupid gulag comment here. What's this? I have a bullish perspective on US 30. Yeah, I think it needs to break above this resistance for your bullish perspective. All right, let's take a look at this chart. This chart, yeah, buys above that resistance. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. We got news coming on too. We got retail sales coming on here. GPCAD came up to this area now. Now you're gonna wait for some sort of confirmation, a resistance forming that will tell you that okay, now we can maybe execute sells for price to continue down. So you'll have to wait for that. Let's look at your JPY. Your JPY is also moving up. I think it can continue up till 122.350, but we got the press release coming in 10 minutes, 12 minutes. So we'll have to see. I think gold is going to also make a move with these retail sales. Man, with these retail sales, I think there'll be really good numbers. Previous one was 12%. They're expecting 5%. I think it's going to be much higher than 5%. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This chart is, ooh, nice. Your JPY buys. Hit TP on GJ on the way to hit on UJ as well. Nice. Beautiful. This is the same move as 6th of July you even posted on IG. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Worked out really good. This thing over here. Trading is more enjoyable even if we are just waiting, no longer boring because of your stream definitely helps with not over trading. Yeah, I think the stream really helps with not over trading. I decided to sit and watch this move, and I think it played out exactly how I thought it would play out. These candles, they broke the high and, like made a new high. This candle, it respected the high over here and made a newer high. Candles making higher highs and higher lows. I think it's pretty good move. Pretty happy that this happened, And I'm pretty excited too because if this happens the next time, I know it's going to work out more, So you just got to be happy about that. Because some people, they get bummed out because they miss a trade. No, man, be excited that it happened just as you wanted it to happen. And now the next day, you're going to know what to do, right? So I think we should all kind of like think in that aspect. Do you look at the price of mangoes to predict the price of GJ? No, not really, because again, the mangoes come from Pakistan, so I mean, it has no correlation with the pound. I mean, man, come on, we gotta use our brains here, right? Um, I'm in a sell on Euro USD, waiting for a pullback. Oh wow, man! Someone is in a sell on Euro USD, waiting for a pullback. Damn, let's take a look here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's at this resistance, and we got the press release coming in 10 minutes. I think with that press conference, like, look at this, right? So this press conference is going to be after this news event, right? So they're going to talk about their monetary policy that they're going to move on with. That's what they're going to talk about. And that will move Euro USD because that's going to move Euro, And someone mentioned that they were talking about how they might not do any changes. So, we'll see what happens. So the target was reached over here. Let's see what's the next target. I think the next target we're coming into, I mean, if we break above 134.340, then we're moving into this consolidation area. And if you remember, this consolidation area was the area in the Asian session. Oof. Wow, what a move here on GJ. Did not really expect it this much. Ooh, someone donated $2. Please report Forex funded on Instra. Someone donated money. Forex funded. All right, we'll take a look at Forex funded here. My views with US 30 news, I think they should be good. I think it should be good. It should continue moving bullish. But see now GP CAD is moving bullish here too. There's no sells because there's no confirmation for sells. Wow, man, GJ has moved into 134.600. Daily's about to flip bullish too. Oh wow, I think this was the trade right here. This was the trade right here, and if you're not in this trade, you have missed the trade. I've missed the trade. Raja, any scams today? Yeah, we gave out a little scam today. I think some people participated in the scam. I didn't participate in the scam. I just kind of like, watched. I just watched it as it happened. So we got retail news coming in, man, oh man. Um, the dude with the GJ sells. I just don't know what to say anymore because candles were all bullish. All right, let's take a look at this here. Forex funded on Instagram. Anyone living funded by Forex. Join the family to profit and learn. FX funded. Nice. It's pretty good. Ooh, wow, making racks. Racks on racks on racks. Making racks over here. Nice cars, fast cars. So someone said they stole 50,000. Damn, crazy. 50,000 is a lot of money. 50,000 is a lot of money to give someone in the first place, someone on the internet. You just went mute first. All right, man. This was a great move if you participated in it. If you had even if you had a runner, because the retracements weren't there at all. I mean, this was a 26 pip move, but even in this, it was a nice move here. 26 pips, reached 134,650. Wasn't really expecting it to continue bullish this much, but this is where runners run a lot because you have things running. Um, yeah, we got 6 minutes here. GP CAD is also running up. There are no sells on GP CAD. There's no confirmation. Should I add more lots to GJ? I don't think you should add more lots to GJ. I don't think that's going to be a good idea to add more lots to GJ. Yeah, I think this is not the right time to trade at all. I've been having a problem this week with overtrading. Yeah, yeah, that's good. I think if you're staying safe, I think staying safe is really good. He's a scammer, guys. I can prove he stole from multiple people, not just one. Look on Forex funded is fraud. His service of signals are trash. Account management, man. If someone is doing account management, I think you should stay clear of that person. If someone's doing account management, trust me. Account management, you'll never see that money back again. You will never see that money back in unless the person has the conscience to really work with you and say, okay, I'll pay you the money back. But with account management, if someone is in account management, doing account management, I mean, if you've lost, I mean, it's a very slippery slope to be in when you're doing account management. Because man, like you're managing people's money when you can't trade. That's the whole concept about account management. Account management is easy. I mean, you have a bunch of people. You have a bunch of people. You tell them that give me money. There are two types of account managements that people do, right? You tell people to give you money, and when they give you money, you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you a percentage return a month, or I'll give you like 10% a month, and you're getting money in, and now you have to make 10% a month to give people. Now, when you don't have the discipline to trade, or when you're over trading, man, you're just losing money. You're losing money, you're losing people's money, you're delaying payments, you're not getting payments on time, you're making excuses, and then you're getting money from people, more people, and then you're using that money to pay someone else. So now it becomes a Ponzi scheme. So that's one type of account management. Second type of account management is when you're running an algorithm. You're running an algorithm on a broker, and when you have people's money running with that algorithm, you're basically making money off of IBs, because that money is being traded in the market on a broker, and the broker is paying you fees in IBs. So that's another type of account management. But in the first type that we talked about, you need licenses to do that. You actually need to be a regulator to do that. Like you need to be regulated by like a governing body. They need to say that, hey, like, you know what? You should do this. What's this over here? Oh, yeah, like you need to be regulated. Otherwise, you're never going to see your money back. unless the person is really a good guy and he says, hey, like, I'm going to pay you back. Otherwise, it's not happening. So we got 2 minutes left over here. We got 2 minutes left for the news to come in for the USD news. So I'm going to look at, let's see. So we're going to look at US 30 and probably going to look at gold because I want to see what happens here. US 30 and gold. All right, here we have gold. I think news should be pretty good news here. We should get good news, right? Because I mean, just by fundamentally speaking, the news should be good because the economies are opening, malls are opening, like places, restaurants are opening, generating tax revenue, generating sales. So that's what core retail sales are. They're expecting 5%. Previous was 17.7, 12.4. I think it should be way more than 5%. So let's see what happens. Let's see what goes on over here. After all these weeks watching GU, I have added a rule in my head. During open-close news, there's no retest at all, so either I stay out of the trade or trade with your anticipation strategy. Yes, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense that you kind of anticipate trade and then you, work your way with it. Have you found a pair that is opposite than GJ? No. Um, yeah, no. Why you did not take this trade? Oh, I did not take that trade because I just didn't want to take the trade. I'm okay with what I did this week, probably, so I was very comfortable. So that's why I didn't focus on taking that trade. Okay, 15 seconds. Let's see here. Oh, it's dropping down. Okay, should it continue to drop down? Did US 30 move up? No, not really. Let's see what happened to USDJPY. USDJPY, not really, nothing really. Let's take a look at the data here. GJ is still under that resistance there. I can see the price, right? Okay, positive news as expected, positive than 5%. Let's see what the core retail sales were. They're still kind of like loading, not loaded right now. It's okay. All right. Is the rejection at 650 likely? 134, 650? I mean, yeah, it should because it rejected in the Asian session yesterday, right? I mean, it should reject this area. But I guess this target was reached, so maybe we want to remove this. So yeah, there we go. I guess gold is bouncing here. It happened the other day too. The news was super good on USD. I think it was our, what was it?
CPI.
CPI. Yeah, yeah. CPI gold just started rocketing up. Okay, so retail sales are all positive. Yeah, just as expected, 7.3, 7.5. This makes sense. I mean, this is also a strong support on gold anyway. 1804. Bad news. So every investor is putting their money in gold. I don't think it's bad news. It's good news. Ooh, the guy who's in Euro USD sell, man, I don't know. I don't know about these sells. It looks like it's gonna pump up here. Oh wow, look at that. There's a guy who's like, I'm in sells right now. I mean, they're having a press conference right now, and I think it's a very tough position to be in a euro sell or even a buy at that point. I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. It's very scary. Looking at GJ is trying to push up towards 134, 650. If it breaks up, then we move into this high volume area we had yesterday. Wow, straight move on GJ. Like no retest at all except on the 5 minute time frames. That's it. Da-da-da-da-da. All right, let's take a look at this. Looking, the daily GJ is still in bearish trend. Oh yeah, but it's not sells right now. I mean, you can't take sells because daily is bearish. I mean, if you look on these time frames are just going bullish. So you have to wait for like some sort of like a resistance forming or some sort of a confirmation. We always have to look at how we could have taken an entry on a move, but looking at this move, it's the same move it did yesterday, but retraced and closed back inside the range. So it's basically a game of probability. Yeah, I think yesterday was a little harder because we had this strong resistance here, right? We had the strong resistance, and I was actually looking at this, and there were clean candles a little bit further to the left, but I think over here it was a little bit different because we had clean candles just right here in the vicinity, right? It was just right here in the vicinity. So I think that's something important that I'm going to write down in my notepad I have. There's something I've been noticing here as well. Like it wasn't as far as like that was a strong resistance. This was just like a minor resistance, I'd say. So maybe that why once it broke the high, it kind of like moved the way it did. But when we look at these situation that happened yesterday, this was like a stronger resistance. And if you look here, there was nothing here, and the most recent we saw was on 13 July, so 3 days ago. But here it was like a couple hours ago. So yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Something I'm gonna use in the next day here or the next week. So you should be like happy, like learn something, picked up something important, because look, this is a clean move and this will happen over and over and over again. And then you're going to have an opportunity to really catch that move. um, GJ should continue moving up if it breaks that consolidation channel because of clean traffic above consolidation. Yes, I think if it's going to continue moving up, it will kind of like do like a retest somewhere, and then it will continue moving up. So I think that's going to be a good opportunity to maybe later on learn learn close and whatnot. Oh, take care, have fun. Um, People are leaving the gulag here today. Gold is still ranging. UJ didn't really do anything with that news. I think it might take some time for them to kind of like get that news absorbed in. Or maybe like, since it was moving bullish, I think it was moving bullish. I think it was too early to say that news was priced in. I still think UJ can come up towards 107,300 probably by NYC Open. So we'll see what happens. Ooh, your USD really did come down. How do you manage your sleep? I sleep on time and I wake up on time. That's how you manage your sleep, right? I mean, I just, I, I basically have the same times I just sleep and wake up. I sleep at like 12, 12:30. I'm up at like 5:30, 5:45. Yeah. Sometimes, if I want to take a nap in the afternoon, I take like a 15 to 20-minute nap. If I really, really want to take a nap, if I'm doing something, yeah, so then I'll take a nap. But other than that, it's just the same times, man. Just keep the same times. Could you also say that YSD trade in NY already have push up pretty far from the support, hence we were caught at the top? And what? Say that yesterday trade in NY it already. Yeah, so we caught up at so we got caught up at the top yesterday. Yeah, you're right. So you're trying to trade the high, but here there was a range right here. So, that's well noted. That's a well noted observation now. Did you take that purchase? But the best thing would be that the operations you show on Instagram are those taken live. But some entries are not made in the live. Yes, some entries are not made on the live. That's true. You should sleep at least 7 hours. No, I think I'm good with what I do. Can you explain why gold fly when news is good for the dollar? Why this happened? This happened because the market decided that maybe that's the best thing to happen. That's why it happened. Are you stressed when you blow the account for 100,000 and you have to make sure to trade it right again? I blow my account and now a lot of demo I for some time, but I'm still very stressed on live. Any advice? Yes. I think you should focus on small things. Ooh, damn, this thing is dropping US 30. I think you should focus on like smaller lots basically, and maybe make a plan, because if you're blowing accounts, you're over trading, you're over risking. That's the only way you're blowing accounts. So if you're making plans, if you know how many trades you're going to take and how you're going to approach that going forward, I think you shouldn't be blowing accounts. And even if you're not over trading and if you're not over risking, you should not be blowing accounts. I have people in my group, some people in my group, they are break even. They're break even, or the max loss they take in a week is like maybe 3%, 4%. Even though you're losing, but you're still managing risk. That's the first step. The first step is to manage risk. If you cannot manage risk from the get-go, man, it's going to be really, really hard for you. Really hard for you. So even though if you're making, let's say, $1,000 a day and you're blowing it after that, man, this is still you're not managing risk. You're not a profitable trader. You're garbage because you're just blowing money. So first step is managing risk. Once you start managing risk, once you really start toning down on risk, the next thing comes entries. Because while you're working on your risk management, while you're working on, like, let's say if you're taking a loss, you're working at that and saying that, okay, how could you have taken the opposite trade? Or if you're winning trades, or if you're missing trades, then you're looking to see how you could have entered the trade. And then what's happening is then you're like, okay, in your mind, you're creating these scenarios that, okay, maybe this is something that I should have done, or maybe this is something that I'm going to do now later on. So, as you're walking through those things, you're basically getting your entries better. As you're going through your past trades, you're basically getting better entries in your mind. So then when the same thing happens the next time, you're going to have a better entry. And that's the second phase, having better entries because you're really focusing on risk first. So everything's like a butterfly effect, like you overtrade, you're never going to make it. You over risk, you're never going to make it. You trade with stress, you're never going to make it. How would you define over risking? Risking more than 5%? Well, losing more than what you want to risk. That's what over risking is. Over risking is when you lose more than you wanted to lose. Yeah, basically. Um, wow, yeah, US 30 is moving down over here. I think if it closes below here, it can continue moving down to probably fill this wick, 26,620. Oh, that's like what, 30 points away. Are you using divergence? Because all time you focus on support resistance. Yes, so that means I'm not using divergence, right? I mean, if price is only going to go up or down, how many things do you need on the chart to tell you that? I think I don't think you need many things to do that, basically. Your JPY, bullish candle, candle close above resistance, buy opened at break of the candle high, okay. In the second half of 30-minute candle, target resistance, partial closed at 10 pips, runner stopped out. Perfect trade. I think this was an example of an amazing trade there. Entered at the break of the high, just like what we had on GJ right here. Broke off the high, some people took buys and perfect. That's pretty good. Yeah, man. Yeah. I think it's $500 right for a 2.5 lot with No, I think it's on like 20 pips. How could I join Raja's group? You don't join Raja's group. I mean, if you find it, you find it. If you can't find it, then I guess you can't find it. Do you have a limited number of trades you take on a daily basis? Yeah, I think I have like maybe three positions I'm going to take, three trading ideas, two or three trading ideas. Yeah, about that. If you trade small positions, when do you know when to get out of a trade if it falls short of your TP? It's basically up to you. I mean, it basically comes down to how much you want to risk. You know, if you don't know much you want to risk, maybe you want to. If you don't know how much you want to risk on a small account, maybe that account is way too small for you to trade, right? Maybe that account needs to be big enough so that if you take a 2% loss, you're like, oh shit, man, 2% loss over here. So yeah, I think sometimes people trade with smaller accounts than they should, you know, because I think if someone can afford a $1,000 account and they're trading with a $200 account, I think they're really hampering their progress. So yeah, I mean, I think that's something we need to change. Retest versus break of previous high, which is a stronger confirmation. I think both are good confirmations. It depends. It's situational, basically. I mean, if you have a clean candles here to the left, and if you're taking a buy once this candle is breaking the high, then like you know, like you have a better chances of going up. But I mean, if you have a situation over here when it's breaking the high and it's a strong resistance, then the probability I think it becomes lower. Um, GJ break of previous 15-minute, not a good point of entry because that candle as well as previous 30-minute candle didn't close above resistance in question. I'm not sure which resistance you're talking about, Nicholas. This one, or this one. Thank you for another stress-free scam session. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good day, Jose. Thank you for showing up to the scam session today. The one that's currently at. Yeah, I guess so. Plus, also like, you know, I mean, taking a buy at this area, I think it'll be a little risky, a little riskier, because we've already moved up so much. You know, we've already moved up one, two, three, like so much. We've already moved up. So I'd say there's a higher probability of price to maybe consolidating before moving up than to just continue moving up further. If it continues to move up further, then that's a very low probability that that happens, but it does happen. And at that point, it is what it is. You know, you can't really change anything. Oh yeah, the Gulag is confused why we call it the scam session because apparently people say that, you know, on the live streams we are defrauding everybody and we are scamming everybody. So that's why we made it like a little joke, you know. I made it like a joke. We're like, oh yeah, hey guys, welcome to the scam session. Before before you trade Forex, go to the bank, get $100 in singles, go outside and throw it in the air. Yeah. Yeah, I did that. I did that once. 2 weeks ago, I was driving around. I was driving around in my town, and what I was doing was I was hiding $20 bills in different locations, and I was making a video on my story, and I was like, "Hey guys, I just placed this money over here. Come get it." And I tell them the intersection and the exact place the money would be, and you know, this one guy he kept following me, and then he basically got all the money. It was like around $100, I think. $100. See what your JPY is doing. Ooh, your JPY tapped into 122,400. Wow, we had two analysis today. Your JPY coming up and GJ coming up to like, you know, this area 134,550, and both of them came true. Great. And still I took no trades. um, do you think 2% a day is good? Man, 2% a day is amazing. Is amazing. My bank, my bank gives me, okay, so I have like around 130,000 in my this investment account I have there, and per year they're giving me 2.2%. per year. You know, they're giving me 2.2% per year, and I'm like, whoa, man. I missed this trade move on GJ because I didn't feel comfortable in buys. One day I will catch this move. Yeah, that's perfect. Someone donated $2. Everyone report Forex funded on Instagram. Stop big scams. Oh, yeah, I think you need to report him to the authorities wherever he is. That's what you need to do, and you really need to tell him to pay the money back. Because if you report him, it doesn't change the fact he stole money, right? So you gotta do something to get the money back. You've become more risk averse since you increased your lot size to 15. Yes, yes, and I think it comes with the territory. You know, I've increased my lot sizes to 15 lots, and I've noticed I'm focusing on less trades because I'm making more at the same time. But when I was trading, let's say one lots or 1.5 or two lots, I was trading much more. I think at that time I was taking like three trades a day, four trades a day. This month I've been taking like one trade a day, you know, like two trades a day, mostly like one trade a day. So that's been happening. So I think it comes with the territory. Like as you start to get better, as you start to get bigger, you start to take less trades, you know. But it all starts from somewhere. Like last year at this time I was at like, you know, like three lots, two lots, and now, you know, a year forward, 15. So it just took time. You know, it's like there's a transition you do, right? And the transition is from starting trading and to really really like sitting down and really knowing that okay, it's okay to miss trades, right? There's a transition. Transition is where you go from over trading as a new trader to the point where you understand that it's okay to miss a trade. That transition, that transition takes the longest time. That's the transition which takes a very, very long time. Because I sat here and I was just talking to you guys, and I was just like, you know, kind of like um, doing commentary on this trade. It's going to go up, we're breaking up, go up, but I'm not taking the trade. You know, for me to get to that point, to just sit here and watch the trade play out and have no FOMO, have no, like, you know, regrets of missing the trade, I think that takes a long time. It takes a very long time to get there. Once you get there, man, then your mental level on trading is solid, is 100% solid. You know, it's super solid. So I think my mental level is really solid because in my head, I knew it's going to go up, but at the same time, I didn't really want to take a trade because, you know, I think I had two losses yesterday and I really didn't want to risk another loss. So I just sat here. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to watch it happen. You know, and for me to get there to that point mentally, it took a long time. Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Like, what else am I gonna be? Man, someone said, "Are you okay?" If I have 15,000 pounds in the bank, how much would you start with trading and trading account? If I had 15,000 in the bank, how much would I want to start with? I would maybe want to start with 2,000 pounds. Yeah, or maybe with 1,500 pounds. I would want to start with 10% of what I have. That's that's what I would do. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah. I hope you're okay, Raja. Should I donate to cover the losses? Oh no, it's okay. I don't think you have the capabilities to donate to my losses. People have fear of missing out, messes with your decision making. Yeah, exactly. And once you conquer that fear of missing out, man, you're totally fine. You know, I always trade GJ and GU together, and they go hand in hand. Yes. 34 pips on GJ and 39 pips on GU. Oh wow, looks like GU is also running a train here. Look at that move right from that support on the 1 hour. Straight up broke above this. Man, this is something I've been looking at a lot. You know, I've been looking at this a lot. Now, what I've been looking at this is that since if let's say this is a 4 hour support, if price is bouncing off a strong support it will break a minor resistance. And I think this was a minor resistance here, which it broke. And I think in the same way, since we were bouncing off a very strong support, it broke this minor resistance, and then it broke this other minor resistance as well. Yeah, yeah, I think it's yeah, I think it's very good. I just made a bet with Jeevan. You guys know Jeevan, right? Yeah, I just made a bet with Jeevan that the bet is for $10,000, right? It's a $10,000 bet, and he bets that he's going to do 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, and 1,000 squats in one day. And if he does that, then I'm going to give him $10,000. And I told him, man, I'm going to wait my whole entire lifetime for that to happen. It's never happening. it's it's yeah. I think my 10,000 are very safe fair with me. That's
Bro,
never
I'll do
happened.
I think Jeevan is about to jump into the stream.
Yeah, let him come. Let's see. Because I want to talk to him about something. I want to talk to him about. Oh, I think gold's going to go now lower, man. I think that move up was just a liquidity grab. Because this news was super positive, super positive news, and it should continue down. I think the market just needed some time to absorb the outcome of the news, and with NYC Open approaching, gold should continue dropping, and USDJPY should continue pushing up.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, man, come on.
So what are you guys saying scared about? Huh?
Scared about it.
Bring your ass here, boy.
The bet is 100% on.
Okay.
1,000 push-ups, 1,000 pull-ups, 1,000 squats, 1,000 sit-ups in a 24-hour period.
Wait, 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 hit-ups, and 1,000 squats.
In a 20, I'll do and pull-ups. I'll do pull-ups too.
Okay, 1,000. Okay, let's add that too. Okay, so you're gonna do
in a 24-hour period, right? I'm gonna do I'll do sets of 100 each every 2 hours. Easy,
Okay,
light work.
perfect. Perfect. So I'm gonna literally pay you $10,000 if you do 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 squats, 1,000 sit-ups, and 1,000 pull-ups in one day.
Yeah, every
I,
time I go, I will personally send you the videos one on one. Every time in the 1 day period when I start, I'll show you the time on the clock. I'll
okay,
show you. I'll record doing the push-ups, the pull-ups, the sit-ups, and we'll count it.
count
And
it.
then every time I do it throughout the day, we'll do a
Perfect.
total count by the end of the day.
Perfect, bro. I'm gonna give you $10,000. I
Yeah.
have 10,000 on the side to give you.
Okay.
Perfect. Got it. I
Yeah.
think and
Instead of the
and
30, just
and
because you
listen,
put me on gas,
this
instead of the 30 days to prepare, just give
oh
me like a week.
bro,
Give me.
listen, you have your entire life for that, bro. Listen, but if I die before the competition, then the bet is off. All right? You can't come after my family for the 10th.
No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's just it's gonna be through a 1 week period max where I'll try it for the but 24 hours in a day, 100 sets of 100. I can do 100 push-ups right now while speaking to you.
Oh, I don't care what you do. You just got to do
I'm
1,000 and
doing
record it and
push-ups
send it
right
to me.
now. That's what I'm trying. I will.
Okay,
I
okay.
will. 100%.
Okay, but listen, like we have a question here, right? Now, now the retail sales data came very positive. You know, it was positive than expected.
Yeah.
What's stopping gold from moving down? Like,
But gold's its own. You guys have to remember about gold's physical supply and demand, right? Gold is its own beast ever since coronavirus shut down gold production and mining across the world or suspended a lot of it. So physical. That's why that one. That's why gold spreads in liquidity. That's one of the reasons gold spreads in liquidity got so wild that one time. Is because physical gold price became so much higher and different versus the paper gold and the gold spot we trade. Right, it was because coronavirus shut down so many mines and production areas around the world that the actual delivery of physical gold was being halted. You had supply being limited, but demand was extremely high. So when we that also influences, of course, the price of the gold spot we trade. So that's something a lot of people have been ignoring is the heavy impact coronavirus had around the world on actual physical gold supply and demand and like the transport of it. For example, you know how oil went to negative because there was no demand for oil due to coronavirus, right? Like there was no demand for oil for the when coronavirus first came out. Nobody was driving anywhere. From a micro perspective, from a macro perspective, you had all these manufacturing areas and factories being shut down. There was a massive over storage. Nobody wanted to pick up the contracts because there was nowhere to store the oil. So because of that impact from coronavirus, you had a heavy over storage of oil, heavy oversupply of physical oil, and no demand. So price went into the negatives. Gold is the opposite. You have a heavy demand for physical gold in this market climate, but a very limited supply because of all those mines and shit being shut down. So gold's just been its own bullish beast. Every pullback on gold, literally from an intraday perspective, just gets bought up to new highs when you really look at it, like zoom out. So it might do a pullback on an intraday perspective and drop maybe like 100 pips, maybe 150 pips, but then it just gets bought up the next day and like goes back to like an intraday high. It's just its own beast.
yeah, see, what I was thinking was that since they're opening up the economies, like the restaurants are open in the US and like, like the malls are starting to open too, that's why like, the retail sales, I mean, they should be higher. And overall, it should continue gold down and the dollar up. That was like my basic idea when I came to stream this morning with the
Oh,
news
from
happening.
like an intraday perspective, I could easily see gold going down if it like breaks that low and breaks below like 1803 area got marked off. But from what you're saying about some like short-term optimism stuff like that, but to me, I'm just trying to explain that it's just extreme. Like another thing is global interest rates being so low, regardless if economies are opening back up with interest rates so low, it also makes like gold very appealing buys. And I was just trying to explain that it's just scary trying to sell gold. You know what I mean? It's just always
Yeah.
needed for. It's just been so much easier just to wait for it to pull back to like a support area or a key area in the higher time frame, just buy it. So That's just my view. But yo, I'm gonna get out of here. The bet is on.
Bet is
Just give
on.
me 1 or 2 weeks to prepare. 1,000 pull-ups, 1,000 push-ups, sit-ups, squats. That's light work in 24 hours. No problem.
Man says it's light work.
Yeah, in 24 hours. Yeah.
So,
Like the way you think, young buck.
all right, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. I'll wait. Damn, man. Man is super confident.
I know, man.
Yeah, I think gold should continue dropping here, man.
That's why he's a good 1 minute trader, because he's super confident.
Yep.
Yeah. Shit.
Oof. GJ looks like it might break above over here as well. GJ's like breaking zones and breaking hearts. How many pull-ups can I do? Probably like 8. If you have 1,000 USD right now, how you manage your risk and compound it? Maybe just focus on how much you want to lose in a trade. Maybe just focus on maybe you want to lose, let's say you're okay with losing $10, $20, something like that. So yeah, I think you really have to understand how much you're going to be willing to lose in that trade and then manage your risk that way. Anyone else thinks GJ looking bearish at the moment? GJ is looking very bullish at the moment. There is nothing bearish about GJ. If anyone thinks GJ is looking bearish at the moment, man, you guys gotta really relax. Why are you streaming today so long? Oh, okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna head off. It's 9 a.m. right now, so I gotta go eat.
Okay, right.
Some someone complained, man, so now we gotta go. Now we gotta go.
Maldito.
Got kicked out by the gulag.
Yeah, Gulag said, man, just go.
All right, bro. Have a good day.
All right, everyone, take care.
Okay, take care, man.
Okay.
Bye.
Be good.